I would like to know how you perceive, give your analysis of whether or not you found this conference successful in the sense of critical minerals. Canada has a strategy, you pitched it hard, but all we have is a commitment by 3 countries to map, which Canada already knows where our critical minerals are. You didn't get an agreement to invest in processing. Do you view that as a setback?
On the contrary, the reception that we've seen from Canada's critical minerals strategy, which we launched just a few weeks ago, has been overwhelmingly positive. The United States, Mexico, and partners around the world have become increasingly concerned about the reliance that we all have on unreliable suppliers of some of the essential ingredients in our greener technological future. Canada being a core and reliable supplier, not just of ores and minerals themselves, but of processed and manufactured products from those ores, whether it be electric batteries, whether it be advanced technologies, things that go into semiconductors. These are the kinds of reliable partnerships that the world is looking for. In North America and in our conversations at this North American Leaders Summit, there's been a tremendous emphasis on all the advantages we have that we can develop together. Obviously, Canada's mineral resources and natural resources are going to be an extraordinary advantage for the North American continent, but so will Canadian workers. So will Canadian innovators and scientists and researchers and engineers who are transforming those minerals in cleaner, greener ways into the products that we rely on across the continent and around the world. So the enthusiasm and the opportunity, not just for our economies to prosper, but for Canadian workers in the natural resource sector, in the manufacturing sector, to know that there are good jobs for them, even in the energy sector, good jobs for them, not just for the coming years, but for the coming decades and for their kids, is what the critical minerals strategy is all about, and the positive reception of that and the enthusiasm that we're seeing from our partners is a very good sign.
But at this point, there's nothing done on paper that you can point to. When you talk about shifting geopolitical atmosphere, you met, for example, with the chairman of Group Bimbo, which pulled out its operations from Russia. And so I'm wondering, when you're meeting with these CEOs in that type of context, you're obviously presenting Canada as a potential spot to shift their investments. Did any of that occur in terms of some type of commitment or agreement in which they want to shift? And I guess that's what I'm looking for, not something airy-fairy about what could be good for us in the future for my kids.
I will highlight that when we have great announcements to make, we make them. When I was at Ingersoll talking about the fact that GM is assuring the future of the Kami plant for decades to come, with the first electric vehicle, commercial electric van produced entirely in Canada. That was an announcement we made that was based on conversations with everyone from Mary Barra to the local GM leaders to partners in there that were not released publicly at the time, but culminated in the right kind of announcement for Canadians. When I was standing there at ArcelorMittal, talking about the fact that this global steel giant was choosing the Dofasco plant in Hamilton as the first place they were making the transformation of their steel away from coal-fired steel plants to electric arc, that was the result of months or even years of conversations to get to that point. So the conversations I've been having with CEOs, with other leaders at this summit are all about ensuring that future for workers across the country. And I am just as excited as you are about the announcements we're going to be able to make in the coming months and years as they land. But every step of the way, we're focused on delivering those opportunities for Canadians. Yet 7 years ago, when I first got elected, we were talking a lot about the fact that climate change was filled with challenges for Canadians. But we also talked about the opportunities. Well, we're finally starting to really see and feel in communities, on the shop floor, in investments across the country, where those opportunities are landing. And it takes time to shift and to build the future in the right way. But that's what these conversations are about, and that's the optimism that Canadians are beginning to share about the future that we're building for communities right across the country.
Merci beaucoup. C'est ce qui